from Cebu City in the Philippines. I hope you enjoy. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. I do appreciate it. Feel free to leave a comment. I'm broadcasting from the 14th floor. If you have any questions, let me know. You're looking at the Mactan channel. You're looking at an office condo building being built and the Mactan Channel. You will see airplanes flying into the Cebu airport. Looks like there's a rainstorm moving in. Thank you for liking and subscribing. You're looking at the Mactan channel that leads out into the South China Sea. Feel free to leave a comment below. My name is Tim. I bring you Philippines content. Let me know what country you're from. I do appreciate it. I'll point the camera at me now. You can see I'm in Cebu because my shirt says so. How y'all doing today? I just got back from the swimming pool. Leave a comment in the chat box. Let me know what your questions are about Cebu City. How are y'all doing? I have to go and get a chair. I'll answer any questions you have regarding Cebu or the Philippines. Leave a comment below. My name is Tim. You can see right there in the corner. Did you watch any of my videos? Welcome. What happens when I do that? Nothing. Let me know who's watching the live stream. I would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. I could. What could I do? I could go to YouTube and sign into my account. Just regular old YouTube, not YouTube Studio. And we could talk about some videos. Do you want to do that? Here we go. Visit my channel. So there I am. I'm on live stream. Allah wants to. So there is my channel. Why don't I share my desktop? Why don't I do that? Thanks for joining. How do I share my desktop? There's a way to do it. Somebody's watching me. Somebody's watching me. There's a way to share the desktop. How do you do it? No comments from the peanut gallery? Thanks for subscribing. I'm learning new software. Add a screen, camera, media, countdown. Media. Screen. Streams of Philippine Dreams. That's the screen I want to share. Now you see my screen, and I'm a little box down below. This is my channel. How cute is that? So what I could do is I could play a video. Let's play. This is the B residences here in Mactan. I'm gonna just walk up the stairs and show the people the entrance to the B resort. Here I am at Balai Residences. I believe this is a 28-story condominium building Here in Lapo. Let's go in, take a look. Welcome, how are you? Lobby area is gorgeous. Very nice. Hawaii residences. I believe it's the 28-story video building. Here in Lapo. Means home in Visaya language, Tagalog. Take a look. Welcome, how are you? Very nice. Very high ceiling in here. Security cameras up there as well. This is the offices right there. And this leads into the condo unit. There's a restroom right there, comfort room. This is the mail room, tile floors. Very nice. I'll go up and show you some units in a minute. Security. Now we are looking at a 1-bedroom, 2-story unit. 62 square meters. Price is $11.2 million. I'm playing some of my videos. This is a condo tour video. And again, the fume hood does not go with the unit. The air conditioning does not go with the unit. It does have crazy vinyl, laminate plank floors. The air conditioning units you have to purchase separately. This is just a model unit. How are y'all doing? This is a yard unit. It has a second floor. Stop it. So this is what I do when I'm bored. I play videos of my channel when nobody's watching me. You subscribed? Awesome. That's excellent. Yeah, that's my own video. Don't you think that's kind of creative to go live and then play your own videos as a promotion? I thought I had a crazy idea. I'm sure I'm not the only one that did that. You subscribe? Awesome. There's a big delay. I have it playing on my television too. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, that's my own video. Don't you think that's kind of creative to go live and then play your own videos as a promotion? I thought I had a crazy idea. I'm sure Done share community. Well, thank you for sharing it. Glutes, Pilates. Did you do your workout today? Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. There's quite a delay. Pretty soon it will stop. Done share community. Well, thank you for sharing it. Glutes, Pilates. Oh, you can see me. You can hear me. That's good. Did you do your workout today? Thank you for subscribing. I have yet to go to the gym. I go to the gym every night around 6 p.m. I just got back from the swimming pool. Use your other small account to play. Yes, that's what I'm doing on my television. Yeah, I have this live stream playing on my television on a small, like, anonymous account. Yes, that's a good strategy. Use your other small account to play. Yeah, that's what I did too. That's what I'm doing on my television. I have my chair outside. I was originally broadcasting from the balcony, and I decided to try this. I'm using a free version of Restream. I kind of like this software. It's kind of nice. What software do you use?
Yeah, that's what I did too. I have my chair on the side. I was originally broadcasting from the balcony. And I decided
Really?
to try this.
I was thinking about doing that. Just play it 24 hours a day to get the watch hours. Then you get subscribers too. That's a good idea. You can't? I won't ask you why, because I think I might know why. It's too bad. I think at 6 o'clock I'll be going to the gym. The gym is really close to where I live. It's downstairs and over one building. It's like a 5-minute walk. So that's what I'm going to do. Bad day.
It's too bad.
Let me know what countries you're from.
The gym is really close to where I live.
And what I have on the display is one of my condo tour videos.
Downstairs.
I have probably, yes, I see you're so small. What do you mean I'm small? You mean the box on the screen?
Let me know what countries you're from.
Is that what I'm small? Or I'm small because I don't have any muscles? Tell me what you mean. Oh my God.
I see you're so small. What do you mean I'm small? You mean the box on the screen?
I have to get my chair. I have to get a chair.
I'm small because I don't have any muscles.
This is like a trial run, just to be honest with you. I loaded this Restream software this morning, and I went live on my other account, my Florida account. And now I'm trying to go live on my Philippines account. I think I have like, how many hours? 500 hours on this account. You're from the Phils. Surprise, surprise. Well, I'm in the Phils right now. I am in Cebu. Why am I doing this? I'll just do this way. The screen is small, yes. I could make the screen bigger if I wanted to. I just got to figure out how. How do I make the screen bigger? Like that? No. Stop sharing. I think if I stop sharing,
The screen is small, yes. I could make the screen bigger if I wanted to.
No, it's really big. Now I don't know how to get the screen smaller. Oh, right there. Like that? You got a lot of comments here. Yeah, the Florida account is monetized. I got 5,000 subscribers. 5,200 subscribers. Yeah. I monetized that account in 7 weeks when I was in Florida. And I did not go live very much. I just published 1 video or 2 videos a day for 10 weeks, and I was monetized.
Yeah, the Florida account is monetized. I got 5,000 subscribers.
I do primarily real estate videos on my Florida account. That's why it's natural for me to do condo tour videos on this account, because I kind of do open house videos in Florida and real estate videos. I'm not a real estate agent. I just pretend to be. It's really annoying that I have my TV going. Let me turn that down. I'm going to turn my TV down because it's driving me crazy. I become big. Yeah, the screen is big. Yes. This is a brand new version for me of Restream. I never used this before, so I have no idea what I'm doing. But I think I know how to do it now. Yes, I become big. Happy Friday to all watching. 5 people, 4 people watching. I have no idea how many people are watching. How many people are watching? How many people are watching? Apply this. Apply this. Use Phil's address. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Can't same address. If you apply this, use Phil's address. Yes, I know. I know. I know who you are. I do know. I remember. So how many people are watching? 4. Did you see the Mocktown channel? That's the Mocktown channel. They're building a new condo building right there. Actually, 2 new condo buildings. And if you watch closely enough, you'll see an airplane come into the Cebu International Airport. That's why I kind of like this setup. I can go live. I can kind of move the camera around. You like my Cebu shirt right there? Cebu. Young Tilt. Hooray. That's a scary logo, Young Tilt. What is that? Young Tilt. Hooray. Awesome. Thanks for the comment. I appreciate it. I do. You can watch my YouTube videos. I did an Independence Day video yesterday. Kind of an interesting tour, an impromptu tour of the Mocktown Shrine. I did yesterday. I went over there just a video. I heard some noises and some bands going on, and I went over there, and then some local guy took me on a tour of the Mocktown Shrine, and we went all over the place. He was counting bones in the monuments. Kind of an interesting video. Too bad nobody's watching it. I appreciate it. Who's this? Hi, stretching full body. Hello. Thanks for joining the live. Stretching full body. Crazy bikini wear and stretching full body. I do appreciate you joining the live. I'm not stretching my full body. I'll be honest with you. Actually, I do stretches as part of my routine. Yes. I know that. I knew that. I did know that. I knew it. Second account. Well, thank you for logging on with your second account. I appreciate that. Thank you for joining the live stream. It is kind of crazy. I just came from the swimming pool. That's why my hair is kind of wonky. Stretching full body. Who's all watching? There's 5 people watching. Show me in the comments below who's all watching the live stream. Pretty soon I'm going to go and get my chair so I can sit. I can sit and be seated. No work today? Everybody's off on Friday. Any plans for the weekend? Thank you. I appreciate it. Your caps lock is on. You're typing in all capital letters, just so you know. Really what? Really what? This is a souvenir that I got from Alona Beach. Kitchi Kim. Hi, Kitchi Kim. Good afternoon. How are you? Hand pink waving, hand pink waving. I'm using a version of Restream. And Kitchi Kim, you'll like this. The reason I'm using this Restream software is because I got the idea from, drumroll please, the regular guy. He did his last live stream. I don't understand that, Kitchi Kim. Like number 6. You're making those comments, and I don't understand what they mean. Is that some kind of cryptic language that I don't understand? What does like number 6 mean? What does that mean? You made comments on some of my videos similar to that, and I'm not sure what that means. I'm new to YouTube. I'm a TikTok guy. I got my fame and fortune on TikTok, and now I'm switching over to YouTube. But thank you for your comments. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Yes. Well, that's how I met you, Kitchi Kim. You were at 7-Eleven on your phone playing a live stream of the regular guy. I was in 7-Eleven purchasing breath mints. I remember it vividly. And you were playing the regular guy on your phone that everyone in 7-Eleven could hear it. And I thought that was pretty funny. And I recognized the voice. I said, there's only one person on earth that talks like that, that has that voice, and that is the regular guy. It means thumbs up, number 6. Really? Number 6, like number 6. Thumbs up, number 6. Well, thank you for teaching me some YouTube vernacular. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Happy Friday afternoon, wherever you are. How's my good friend Phil M. Mike? I was here in January, and I met Phil and Mike in January. They were having, what were they having? They were having a, really? You met the regular guy? So you're one of his baberoonies. Oh my God. I know of a guy in America that talks very similar to the regular guy. And I first started watching the regular guy in January when I was here in Cebu. It came flying across my recommended page in YouTube. And I started watching him, and I said, I used to work for a guy that talks just like the regular guy. Yes, I know. Phil and Mike is your friend. Yes. Yeah, face smiling. Yes, Phil and Mike. Phil and Mike was doing a live stream in January when it was, what was the celebration in January? Was it, the celebration was what? It was El Santo Nino celebration, I think. They're having a celebration at the sales office at Mactan, Newtown. It was like my first night here, and I walked down there with my camera. I was going to record for my new YouTube channel, which is this YouTube channel. And I was recording, and then Phil M. Mike came up with his phone, and he started talking to me. He was actually doing a live stream, and he walked up to me and said, hey, hi, how are you? So if you look at one of Mike's videos from January, Scotty boy is a good boy. Yes, he seems to be. But I used to have a boss that talked just like him, spoke, had the same voice inflection, same type of sayings. He was kind of interesting cat, very interesting cat. So there is more than one person on earth that talks like the regular Scotty boy. It's kind of cool. I like him. I watch all his videos. Very entertaining. He hasn't done very many videos lately. Not after he did the 30 videos, 30 cities in 30 days. Dude's crazy for doing that. He's tired. He has to be tired. So thumbs up to the Scotty boy, the regular guy. Appreciate. He is. And Mike is nice and friendly. Yeah, Phil and Mike. He is. How is his back doing? Back in January, I subscribed to him after he interviewed me on his live stream. And occasionally his videos will come flying up in my recommended page. And I noticed that his videos, he has a back problem. He's been laying in bed with a sore back. But the interesting thing was, I flipped through my recommended page on YouTube and I saw Mike laying in bed complaining about his back. Yes, that's where I'm broadcasting from. I am broadcasting from Mactan, Newtown. That's where I'm living. Yes. So I flipped through and I watched Mike laying in bed complaining about how his back is. And then I flip again. It's getting better. And then I flipped again. And then I saw one of your videos, Kitchi Kim. And I saw you and Mike dancing together in the kitchen. And I'm thinking to myself, is Mike's back hurt or is it not hurt? His back is getting better. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. But I thought it was ironic that one video I saw, he was complaining about his back, laying in bed. And next video, he's dancing with you. You do know that I know Lagani, right, Kitchi Kim? I rented a condo from Lagani in January. That's kind of how I know Lagani, and I know Phil and Mike, and now I know Kitchi Kim, because I rented a condo from Lagani in January. I was here in January. That's when I met Phil and Mike. But thank you for the comments. There's other people watching. Yes. So it's kind of entertaining watching all the characters here in the Phils, as regular guy says, in the Philly Willy. I'm going to try not to pick up his comments, his statements, because it's his original vernacular. Yes, she told me that. Lagani told me that I was going to rent another apartment from her to stay this time. I came here in May, a few weeks ago, and I contacted her to find me a place to stay. And she told me at that time that she knew Kitchi Kim. And I said, who is Kitchi Kim? What is a Kitchi Kim? And now I found out Kitchi Kim is you. So it's kind of one big happy family here in Mactan, Newtown. But I appreciate you following my channel. I do. You have to catch my Independence Day video. I just released that yesterday. Happy Independence Day to everyone here in the Philippines. I appreciate that if you watch the video. All righty, where are we? Yes, we're all tied closer together than you think. But I ended up finding yeah, we're a big happy family here. Uh, I did find a different unit. Lagani did find me a unit. Guess where? Lagani found me a unit in the same building that Phil M. Mike lives. And I actually almost rented. Am I sad? I'm not sad. I almost rented a unit in the same building as Phil M. Mike. And then I decided to look a little harder and I found this unit. And so far, I'm happy. Why am I sad yesterday? Why was I sad yesterday? Why do you think I was sad yesterday? I was not sad yesterday. Why do you think I was sad? I don't think I was sad. I did a video. I did the Independence Day video. It is your Independence Day, Philippines. That's from a famous movie in 1996 with Will Smith entitled Independence Day. This is your Independence Day. And that's a little food for thought. I'm a reservoir of useless information. But thanks for watching and subscribing. I wasn't sad yesterday. I'm not sure why you think I was sad. I am not sad yesterday. I am not sad today. Today's a happy day. Happy Friday. Oh, Lord. What else do we want to talk about? How beautiful it is in Mactan, Newtown. Should we talk about that? Lots of rain in the Mactan, in the Lapu-Lapu. What the hell? Your channel is about that? Really? Why did you think I was sad? What made you believe? Was I sad on the video I published? Maybe I look sad. I don't know. I'm a low-key kind of guy. I am not high-strung like some of the other YouTubers. I'm a low-key guy. That's why nobody watches my videos. No, I'm not sad. I'm happy. I'm happy as a clam, as we say in America. You know your channel is about relationships, Filipinos, foreigners, about what's happening here in the Philippines and how to find a good Filipina. Okay, this is my advice to anybody watching. How do you find a good Filipina? You put your clothes on, you walk down the street, and you find a good Filipino. It's pretty that easy, right? Lots of rain because it's rainy season, yes. The rainy season here in the Philippines is very similar to the rainy season in Florida. I live in Florida. And in Florida, the rainy season coincides with the hurricane season. And that runs from June 1 through November 30. So in Florida, it rains pretty much every day in the afternoon between June and November. It's just like this. The weather is so similar between the Philippines, at least this part of the Philippines, and Florida. It's kind of scary. The weather is almost identical. The temperatures are almost identical to what we have in Florida. This is the time of year in Florida where the heat and humidity is so high and so obtrusive that you can barely handle it. It's just like the Phils, or like the regular guy says, the Philly Willy. I just can't get used to saying that. Yes, it is the rainy season here in the Philippines. I feel right at home. I feel like I'm back in Florida. That's why I can get used to it here. I did get sunburned, though. My lips are all burnt, if you notice right here. Yes, June through November, rainy season in Florida. It usually rains every afternoon for a couple hours. Just like here in the Philippines, just like in Cebu here. The weather is almost identical. I feel like I got on the plane in Florida And I feel like I stepped off the plane in Florida in terms of the weather. The weather is almost the same. Temperatures are the same this time of year. I can't believe it, to be honest with you. Weather is the same. Humidity is the same. I know that. So you mean raining also? Yes. And the hurricane season starts in Florida in June. But we usually don't get hurricanes. You call them typhoons, but we call them hurricanes. We don't usually get them until usually August, September, October, November. That's usually when we get them. They're a little bit later. But they're strong like your typhoons here in the Philippines. Absolutely. Oh. You want to talk about that? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. How to find a good Filipino if they are not asking for money for any reason. Well, the Philippines is a developing country, is it not? Yes, you're welcome, Kitchi Kim. The Philippines is a developing country. And minimum wage in the Philippines is somewhere around the 460 pesos per day, which is about $9 per day. So if you're a foreigner and you want to date, this is my opinion only. If you're a foreigner and you want to date in the Philippines, there's probably a 99% chance they're going to ask for help. Because even if they're working, they're making $9 per day. And the employment structure in the Philippines is kind of strange, where a lot of these people, they find a job and then they work for 6 months and then they get laid off. They have some kind of a strange work policy that you work 6 months and then they lay you off and then they hire someone else. And that is a very strange work policy. That is not a work policy that we employ in America. So I think it is a fallacy to think that you can find somebody in the Philippines that's never going to ask you for money. 650? Are you sure, Kitchi Kim? I just saw a YouTube video. Who was it? Pro-Life Traveler. He's awesome. I recommend you watch Pro-Life Traveler. He's a YouTuber in Dumaguete, as the regular guys say, in the Dooms or something like that. He has a strange name for Dumaguete too. And he interviewed somebody working at the gas station pumping gas in Dumaguete, and he indicated he was earning minimum wage 460 pesos. Yeah, they're getting minimum wage, whether it's $9, $10, $11, $13. Okay, let's use your number, Kitchi Kim. 650 pesos is $13 US. And usually they are probably the only person working in their family. And the culture in the Philippines is that they support their family. So you have one person making $13 a day, most likely supporting a family of 5 or 10 people. If you're a foreigner, you can expect that they're going to ask you for money. It's just the way it is. And I think it's a fallacy, or it's something that you really can't expect, is if you try to date somebody in a developing country that they won't ask you for money. I don't think that's even possible. They're going to ask for money at some point. But if they ask it as the first question or in the first day, you should be aware of it. I agree. But if you know them for a certain period of time, few weeks, few months, you can expect that they're going to ask you for money. At least that was my expectations. And if I didn't want to support, then I wouldn't be dating people in the Philippines. I'd be dating somebody in America who has a job. So I guess I don't understand people complaining about their friends asking for money when they are in a developing country that has wonky labor rules, laying them off after 6 months and making 10 or 13 US dollars a day. I think it's unrealistic expectations. Set your expectations. That's what I say. That's my opinion. It's not acceptable for me asking or using the innocent people just for money or because you need money. I think that's a different topic, Kitchi Kim. If they're using you just for money, I agree, that's wrong. But how do you determine if they're using you just for money or if they really love you and they're asking you for money to help them out? How do you determine that? How do you measure that? I could never figure that out. Yes, I agree. There is a problem with Filipinos using foreigners. Yes, absolutely. But how you define that, how you determine that, that's difficult. That's very difficult. It's very, very, very difficult. I agree. It's difficult. So everybody has to kind of use their own judgment. They have to use their own gut feeling. And even if they have a feeling and a gut feeling, and they still could be wrong. So the idea is if you're afraid of those things, yeah, how do you measure it? Be observant. Yes, I agree. You have to be observant. You have to. But sometimes, a lot of times, uh, it happens over a long period of time. And by the time it starts happening regularly, you're too deep into the relationship. Your feelings are too much, and it's too difficult to back out. I think that's where the foreigners are having some issue. Is it starts off nice and beautiful and all of that, and then over time, over 3, 4, 5, 6 months, it starts gradually increasing, and then you're into the relationship so deep that it's difficult to back out. And I think that's where some of the foreigners are getting taken advantage of. Yeah, you have to be observant. But even if you're observant, you don't know if it's due to cultural differences, if it's due to they're taking advantage of you, if it's due to language barriers. You just don't know. Yes, be observant. Yeah. Yes. And I hear people walking around saying, only date the ones that have a job. That's good advice generally, but you can be reasonably assured that they're going to lose their job in 6 months because that's how the Philippines works. So at some point, they're going to be without a job. Uh, you could also make a statement, date the ones that have a college education. Maybe that's the rule you go by. I don't know. You could set up a lot of different qualifications. You could set up a lot of different requirements, but there's no foolproof way. Users are users. Yeah, but you're assuming that they go into the relationship being a user, and sometimes they don't go into the relationship being users or gold diggers, like you say. Sometimes circumstances happen, they lose their job. Then what? Some people already said only date the Filipinos that are working overseas because they have a job, a fairly good paying job, a job that pays more than what they make in the Philippines. Maybe that's the requirement. Just date the ones that are working overseas, OFWs, overseas Filipino workers. You could do that. If you are a foreigner, never wish to have a Filipino who is jobless. Well, you can't wish it, but there's a good chance it's going to happen just because how the Philippines operates with their jobs. I know a lot of people, they're salespeople, they work at the mall, they're selling cosmetics. They have to meet their sales quota. If they don't meet the sales quota for the month, they get replaced. I think the point I'm making is the chances of them losing a job in the Philippines, I think, is higher than in a different country like America, for instance. I think the job culture here is a lot different. True, some of them sometimes they're lying. Yes, they're making drama, losing jobs, and are really jobless. That could be. That's true. That's true. That is true. In America, if you go on dating websites in America, sometimes to qualify to go on some of these upscale dating sites in America, I can't remember some of the names, but they do background checks on you. They check your not only your criminal history, but they check your financial history. They do credit checks to see if you're in default on any loans or any payments. That's really how you can get around by vetting some of these people. Do you have background checks here? Do you have credit checks here? That's really what you should be doing. If you're that sensitive about these topics, you need to do background checks. And even that will get you maybe 70% comfort level. You still could have 30% of the things being hidden. Yes, that is right. That's why I think it's very hard to generalize who to date, who not to date, who's taking advantage of you, who's not taking advantage of you. Uh, I think there are a lot of people in desperate situations in this country because it's a developing nation. And all I can say to the foreigners is if you're sensitive to that, find somebody in a different country that has a higher wealth and date them. That's all I can say. Because there's a good chance that you're going to be asked to support some of the family here for a lot of the reasons that we just talked about. It comes down to how much, what is your tolerance level? That's my opinion. And clearance or NBI clearance? The clearance is police clearance or NBI clearance? Okay, there you go. So unless you're going to get some kind of an NBI clearance or credit check, then stay away from the fills and date somebody that's in a country that has a better economic situation. So that's the way it is. That's the way it is in the Philippines. I just don't like to try to generalize about who to date, who not to date. Just because they don't have a job, don't date them. Maybe their situation is real. Right. Be observant. You won't become, even if you're observant, you still could be a victim. Bad Filipino. It's hard to measure intent. It's hard to gauge intent unless you give them a psychological test, which is part of the employment process in America for some jobs, is they make their employees take psychological exams before they get hired. Those psychological tests and the way they answer some of the questions will determine what their propensity or what their probability of stealing from the employer is, lying to the employer, cheating. You could give them a psychological test. but they're, again, not 100% accurate. You're trying to find a needle in a haystack. If you're trying to find a perfect one, it's tough because there's not a lot of information here. You're going to have to go with gut feeling, and you're going to have to be observant. And by the time you observe and by the time you make a decision, you're 6, 8, 10 months into the relationship. It's definitely difficult to back out at that point. And I think that's where the foreigners are having some difficulties. No jobs are wishing to have a foreigner is not because of money. No jobless Filipinos are wishing to have a foreigner is not because of money. Well, you could say that about America, the women in America. If you're jobless in America, the women don't want you either. You can say that about any other country. Yeah. It's the same as in America. It's called transactional relationships. I think every country is guilty of it. Everybody wants to be with somebody who has some money. And then how do you measure? Do you want to be with me because you love me or because you have money? That's difficult to measure. But every country is guilty of it. Not only the Phils or the Philly Willy, as the regular guy says. Good discussion, though, Kitchi Kim. Very good discussion. And at the end of the day, there's no right answer. There isn't. It's up to the individual. Some people are good at observing, and some people are good at cutting ties. It is reality everywhere, Kitchi Kim. That reality is everywhere. If you have no money, you can't find a date in America either. Not only in the Philippines. I think in the Philippines, they're less discreet about it. In other countries, they're more discreet about it. I think that's the only difference. But at the end of the day, the mentality is the same. Good discussion, though, Kitchi Kim. You've got to come on my live more often. Very good. Very, very good. But people like you, boots on the ground, you have friends, you kind of know what to look for. Us foreigners, we don't know what to look for. We don't know what to look for. We just know that it's a developing country. Most of the people here are poor. If we have extra money, we'll help them out. We don't realize that they have another boyfriend or they have a husband that they're hiding, because that generally doesn't happen in America or foreign countries. It's easier to find out. Here, it's easy to hide it. So because of that, some of it is cultural. It's not only cultural in the Philippines, but it's cultural in America, for instance. Totally different land. What is it? 1 hour. I've been live 1 hour. I think it's time for me to take a break. I do appreciate you joining my live stream, everyone. Thumbs up to you. I'll go live again. This is a good time. Any other questions? Any other parting thoughts? Yeah, I know. And that's a pretty common thing. They're hiding boyfriends, husbands. Their internet mysteriously goes out. You should put a list of things together, Kitchi. List of, I don't know, 10 common things, 10 common excuses. If their internet is always going out, if their phone is always broken, if their electricity is off at particular times. You should put a guideline together. If you're in a relationship and you see these 10 items with this amount of frequency, run for the hills. Yeah, I know. That's a unique thing for at least Americans is there's no divorce in the Philippines, and most Americans don't realize that. Take care. Have a good day. Hearts to you all. I'm going to end the live stream. We'll see you soon. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.